Ever feel like your mind's stuck in a storm, with worries swirling like a hurricane? Anxiety disorders affect millions, turning everyday moments into battles. In this video, I'll break down anxiety disorders in 15 minutes, their causes, signs, and solutions, to help you understand and take control. Hit like and subscribe to unlock more life-changing mental health insights. Let's dive in and find calm together. We've all felt that flutter of nerves before a big moment, a presentation, a first date, or a tight deadline. But for some, that flutter turns into a relentless storm that doesn't quit. Anxiety disorders aren't just feeling nervous. They're medical conditions that grip your mind and body, making simple tasks feel like climbing a mountain. Let's unpack what makes these disorders different from everyday stress and why they matter. Picture your brain as a security system. Normally, it sounds an alarm when danger's near, say, a car speeding toward you. But with an anxiety disorder, that alarm blares for no reason, like a smoke detector going off without a fire. According to the World Health Organization, over 300 million people worldwide live with anxiety disorders, and in places like the US, nearly 1 in 5 adults face this daily. It's a global challenge, and it's more common than you might think. So, what sets an anxiety disorder apart? Everyday anxiety is short-lived, tied to a specific trigger like worrying about a test. An anxiety disorder, though, lingers, weeks, months, or longer, and often strikes without a clear cause. It can disrupt your sleep, work, or even time with friends. It's not about toughening up. It's a real condition, often tied to brain chemistry, past experiences, or even genetics, that needs understanding and care. These disorders come in many forms, but they all share one thing: they steal your peace. They might make you feel trapped in your own head, avoiding places or people, or stuck in a loop of worry. The good news? They're treatable, and knowledge is power. By understanding what's happening, you're already taking the first step toward relief. So, what are the faces of anxiety disorders? In the next chapter, we'll explore the main types, from panic attacks to phobias, to help you spot them in yourself or others. Stick with me as we map out this journey. Now that we've got a handle on what sets anxiety disorders apart from regular nerves, that constant, uninvited alarm in your head, let's zoom in on the specific varieties. Think of anxiety disorders as different flavors of the same ice cream. Each has its unique twist, but they all leave you feeling overwhelmed. By breaking them down, you'll better recognize if one rings a bell for you or a loved one, paving the way for targeted help. Let's start with generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. This one's like a background hum of worry that never turns off. You might fret endlessly about finances, health, or even minor decisions, feeling restless and on edge all the time. Globally, GAD affects around 3 to 5% of people, and in high-stress environments like bustling cities, it's even more prevalent. It's the everyday worrier amplified to exhausting levels. Next up is panic disorder, which hits like a lightning bolt out of nowhere. Suddenly, your chest tightens, you can't catch your breath, and you fear you're having a heart attack or losing control. These panic attacks can strike any time, leading many to dread public spaces. Statistics from health organizations indicate that about 2 to 3% of adults experience this, often starting in young adulthood. Then there are specific phobias, intense fears of particular things or situations, like spiders, flying, or enclosed spaces. Unlike a mild dislike, a phobia can dictate your life, skipping vacations to avoid planes or taking stairs in skyscrapers. Up to 12% of people deal with a specific phobia at some point, making it one of the most common mental health issues. Don't forget obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. This involves unwanted thoughts, obsessions, that trigger repetitive behaviors, compulsions, to ease the distress. For instance, fearing germs might lead to excessive hand washing until your skin cracks. OCD impacts about 1 to 2% worldwide, and it's often misunderstood as just being neat when it's really a cycle of mental torment. Finally, post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, emerges after a shocking event like an assault or disaster. Symptoms include vivid flashbacks, nightmares, and hypervigilance, as if the trauma is replaying on loop. In regions with conflict or natural disasters, PTSD rates can climb to 20% among survivors. Each type has its hallmarks, but they overlap in how they disrupt joy and productivity. Knowing them empowers early intervention. What sparks these in the first place? In the next chapter, we'll dive into the causes and risk factors behind anxiety disorders, uncovering the roots to better address them. Let's keep going. Having mapped out the key types of anxiety disorders, from the constant buzz of GAD to the sudden strikes of panic, it's natural to wonder, what lights the fuse? Anxiety doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's often a mix of biological wiring, life experiences, and daily pressures. Understanding these roots can demystify why it happens and guide prevention or treatment. Let's peel back the layers. At the core, biology plays a starring role. Your genes can load the dice, making some folks more prone if anxiety runs in the family. Research suggests a heritability rate of 30–50%, meaning if a parent battles it, your odds rise. Brain chemistry is key too. Imbalances in chemicals like serotonin or GABA, which act as natural calmers, can leave the fight or flight switch stuck on. It's like a car with faulty brakes, speeding through worries without stopping. Life's twists and turns add fuel. Traumatic events or chronic stress, such as childhood adversity, job loss, or relationship strains, rewire the brain's response system. In today's world, ongoing pressures like financial woes or social isolation amp this up. Post-2020, with global upheavals, anxiety cases surged by 25%, per health reports, highlighting how external chaos seeps in. Then there's the environment and lifestyle angle. Growing up in high-stress homes or urban jungles with noise and crowds can heighten vulnerability. Modern habits, endless scrolling on social media, poor diet, or lack of exercise, disrupt sleep and spike cortisol, the stress hormone. Caffeine overload or irregular routines, they tip the scales further. In fast-paced societies where productivity trumps rest, these factors compound, turning mild worries into full-blown disorders. Personality traits matter too. Perfectionists, or those who overthink, the what-if crowd, face higher risks. Combine that with societal expectations, like the pressure to succeed in a competitive job market, and it's a recipe for anxiety. No single cause dominates. It's often a perfect storm. Spotting risk factors early, like family history or ongoing stress, allows proactive steps. What's the toll of these on body and mind? In the next chapter, we'll examine the physical and emotional symptoms that signal an anxiety disorder is at play. Join me as we connect the dots. With the causes and risk factors laid out, from genetic predispositions to modern-day stressors, you might be asking how anxiety actually shows up in daily life. The symptoms are the red flags your body and mind wave, often blending so seamlessly that people mistake them for something else. Recognizing them is crucial for early action. Let's break down the physical and emotional signs, painting a clear picture of what anxiety feels like in action. On the physical side, anxiety can mimic a full-body workout without the gym. Your heart races as if you're sprinting, palms get sweaty, and breathing turns shallow and rapid. Headaches, dizziness, or a churning stomach are common, sometimes leading folks to think it's a flu or heart issue. Muscle tension builds up, causing aches in the neck or back, while fatigue sets in from constant alertness. In severe cases, like during a panic episode, you might feel chest pain or tingling in your limbs, scary stuff that sends many to the ER. Emotionally, it's a whirlwind inside. Worry spirals dominate, with thoughts racing about worst-case scenarios, even for minor things. Irritability snaps at loved ones, concentration evaporates, and a sense of dread looms like a shadow. Sleep, forget it. Insomnia or restless nights fuel the cycle. Avoidance becomes a habit, skipping social events or procrastinating tasks to dodge discomfort. For some, it's numbness or detachment, as if watching life from afar. These symptoms don't hit everyone the same way. A student might sweat through exams with GAD, while a veteran with PTSD relives traumas through nightmares. Globally, these signs affect productivity and relationships, with surveys showing 40% of sufferers facing daily interference. Spotting them early changes everything. How do experts confirm it's anxiety? In the next chapter, we'll cover diagnosis and when to seek professional guidance, turning awareness into action. Let's move forward. Once you've spotted those physical jolts and emotional whirlwinds, the racing heart, endless worries, or avoidance patterns, the next logical question is, how do we know it's truly an anxiety disorder? Diagnosis isn't a DIY quiz online. It's a structured process led by experts to rule out other issues and chart a path forward. Let's explore how it's done and the signs that it's time to reach out, empowering you to take that vital step. Professionals use guides like the DSM-5 or ICD-11 to diagnose, looking for symptoms that persist over time. say 6 months for GAD, and significantly impair daily functioning. A doctor or therapist might conduct interviews, ask about your history, and even run physical tests to exclude things like thyroid problems. In many countries, mental health apps or hotlines provide initial screenings, but a full eval comes from licensed pros like psychologists or psychiatrists. When should you seek help? Don't wait for rock bottom. If anxiety's messing with your job performance, straining relationships, or keeping you up nights, that's a cue. Red flags include frequent panic, suicidal thoughts, or substance use to cope. Stigma often holds people back, fears of being labeled crazy, but therapy is as routine as seeing a dentist for a cavity. Data shows early intervention boosts recovery rates to over 70%. Breaking the barrier. Start with a trusted GP who can refer you. Online platforms like BetterHelp make access easier, especially in remote areas. Remember, asking for help is strength, not weakness. It's reclaiming your life. Diagnosis opens doors to healing. What treatments await? In the next chapter, we'll uncover effective options, from therapy to lifestyle tweaks, showing recovery is within reach. Ready to continue? Armed with a diagnosis and knowing when to seek help, through tools like DSM criteria and professional evaluations, you're ready for the uplifting part. Treatments that really work. Anxiety disorders aren't lifelong sentences. With the right approaches, many find lasting relief and reclaim their days. We'll cover proven therapies, meds, and holistic methods, drawing from science to show how they tackle anxiety at its core. Leading the pack is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This practical method rewires thinking patterns, challenging distorted fears, like assuming every headache means disaster. Through homework and sessions, you build skills like reframing thoughts or facing fears step by step. Clinical trials boast success rates of 50 to 75% for conditions like phobias or OCD. Accessible via apps like CBT Thought Diary or in-person counselors, it's a game changer for long-term management. When therapy needs a boost, medications step in. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, such as fluoxetine, help balance brain signals, easing symptoms over weeks. For quick relief in acute panic, short-term options like beta blockers calm physical reactions without sedation. Psychiatrists tailor these, monitoring side effects, and studies affirm they aid 60% of users when paired with talk therapy. Always consult a doc. Self-medicating isn't the way. Holistic and alternative paths shine too. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, teaches present moment awareness, curbing rumination via meditation. Programs like those from Jon Kabat-Zinn show reductions in anxiety by 30 to 40%. Yoga or acupuncture complement this, promoting relaxation through body-mind links. For PTSD, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR processes traumas effectively, with 80% improvement in vet studies. Lifestyle interventions are powerhouse add-ons. Regular aerobic exercise, think brisk walks or swimming, releases feel-good chemicals, slashing anxiety by up to 25%, per fitness research. Nutrition tweaks like omega-3s from fish or cutting sugar support brain health. Support groups, online or local, foster connection, reducing isolation, key since loneliness amps anxiety. Tailoring is essential. What clicks for one might not for another. Track progress with journals and hybrid models. Teletherapy plus meds. Suit busy lives. Worldwide, access grows via public health initiatives, making recovery feasible. These treatments prove anxiety is beatable. How can you maintain gains? In the next chapter, we'll focus on self-care strategies and prevention tips to keep anxiety at bay daily. Let's press on. Building on those effective treatments, CBT, meds, and mindfulness that pave the road to recovery, let's shift to everyday tools you can wield yourself. Self-care isn't a luxury. It's your frontline defense against anxiety creeping back or flaring up. These prevention tactics empower you to nurture mental wellness proactively, blending science-backed habits with simple routines for lasting balance. Kick off with breathing exercises, your instant reset button. Try box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. This activates the parasympathetic system, dialing down stress in seconds. Research from the American Psychological Association links regular practice to a 20% drop in anxiety levels. Incorporate it during commutes or before meetings for quick wins. Next, lock in solid sleep hygiene. Aim for consistent bedtimes, dim lights an hour before, and a cool, quiet room. Anxiety thrives on fatigue, so dodging screens and caffeine post-noon helps. Studies indicate that 7 to 9 hours nightly can have symptom severity over time. Fuel your body right with nutrition and movement. Load up on anti-anxiety foods like berries, fatty fish, and greens for their omega-3s and antioxidants. Pair that with 150 minutes of weekly activity, yoga for mind-body sync or jogging to burn off tension. Fitness data shows exercise rivals meds in efficacy for mild cases. Tame the mental chatter through journaling and boundaries. Daily gratitude lists shift focus from fears to positives, while setting worry time limits. Rumination. Curate your digital life. Mute anxiety-inducing feeds and schedule offline breaks to reclaim peace. For prevention, build a support network. Regular check-ins with friends or joining anxiety forums normalize struggles and offer fresh perspectives. Spot early triggers, like overcommitting, and adjust accordingly. Consistency turns these into superpowers. As we wrap up, let's tie it all together in the final chapter with a recap and motivational send-off. Onward. Equipped with self-care gems like breathing drills, sleep routines, and mindful eating that fortify your defenses against anxiety, we've reached the end of our exploration. From defining anxiety disorders and their varieties, to unraveling causes, spotting symptoms, getting diagnosed, exploring treatments, and embracing prevention, this guide arms you with knowledge to navigate mental health storms. Key insight: anxiety is widespread yet conquerable. Millions thrive post-treatment, proving it's not a dead end but a detour with exits. Whether through therapy breakthroughs or daily habits, change starts with awareness. Here's your boost. You're stronger than your worries. Small wins, like a calm breath amid chaos, snowball into confidence. Real stories abound of people turning anxiety into a catalyst for growth. To wrap up, act now. If this resonated, share it with a friend. Your share could spark their journey. Drop a comment on your takeaways, like a favorite tip, and subscribe for more empowering content. Together we destigmatize and support. Thanks for joining. Prioritize your peace, and see you next time.